So as with usual with these Fate books, Lost Einherjar is technically one of my books. That said, I'm going to throw this out there right now. I'm going to need your help a lot more on this one than I did with Prototype, because I read this one a fucking month or two ago.
Well, you will be happy to note I took notes.
Thank God.
I also happened to every single time that Ragnar brought up listening to heavy metal music on his iPod Nano. Hold on. I need props for this. Every single time that he brought up listening to music on his iPod Nano, I went on Spotify, got that same song, and listened to it all the way through. And in between listening to the 3 different songs that he cites in this volume, I listened to Adrian von Ziegler's album, Einherjar. This is very busted.
A little bit.
The battery finally expanded, I think. Oh, it shrunk back. Huh. I didn't know it could do that. Makes me wonder if I could charge it. Now that the battery shrunk back. Anyways, let's not consider.
So, unlike with Prototype, where we have the full series we could read and suffer through, Lost Einherjar, there's only 1 volume out.
And I am bereaved. I am in mourning. I am experiencing the 5 stages of grief in a single day at this revelation. I am hurt. I am torn apart. How dare they not have an entire 30-volume series of this for me to read? I've never been so insulted by a series not being done as this one.
It's not even not being done. It's just like they started it and then it disappeared off the face of the earth. If I had a nickel for every time Type Moon did this in the last 5 years, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's irritating that it happened more than once.
Look, just point me at the author. I'll get it done.
No, you won't. There's a reason this author's dragging her feet. Because she has her hand in literally everything else Fate right now.
I can remove some of those fingers.
One of those is FGO. He's one of the main story writers of the current arc.
I don't care. She needs to get back to doing what she's good at, which is Lost Einherjar.
I'd say she's also good at FGO because she wrote my favorite chapter, but she also wrote Septum, so...
Well, really, one of these averages is batting 100 and the other one is batting 50.
Well, she's written a bunch of the good chapters in FGO. It's just Septum in London that sit out there like, wow.
She wrote London?
Yeah.
So on that note, this author should never be allowed to write for FGO again and should put all their effort into writing more Lost Einherjar.
But she also wrote a few of the best chapters in FGO later
Irrelevant, I haven't read them. It only matters if I've read it. I'm the only one who matters.
Sure, sexy. Sure.
With that being on that note, I would like to let you know that I did not, in fact, hold myself back from scrutinizing any and all art presented to me in this volume. If you wanted me to, you should have removed the art pages from the PDF. I was not gonna not stare at Ragnar Lothbrok.
Well, there you have it, folks. We aren't going to have Ragnar or Aslaug until they at least come to FGO.
Or Sinfjaltar? Something like that.
You read the book today and you know the character in Norse mythology, but way better than I do.
I'm close. I'm not exactly right on the name, but the wolf uncle. We are gonna do Ragnar Lothbrok and Aslaug eventually, but
with this, it's like there's not even really room for us to do we'll do this, but we're only looking at art because you've seen the art now.
No, we have to wait for them to come to FGO.
Yeah,
we need NPs. That's what we need. Did not hold myself back from staring at Percival.
You've seen Percival.
I know. And that's why I didn't hold myself back from staring at Percival.
I'll say he's in a slightly different art style here than he is in the normal FGO.
Irrelevant. I also didn't... Also, am I wrong? Or is Assassin Serenity? It looks like a slightly bedazzled version of Serenity in the art.
I'd have to take a look at the art again.
Okay. Because when I was reading it over, because I figured out who Castor is. Like, I know who Castor is, which I do love me.
It's not a spoiler if it's speculation.
Castor is Leshy. It literally says that at the end of the volume. It literally has a whole page describing, it says Castor Leshy. It's not speculation. It says so. Because at first when I saw Castor's art, I was like, oh, Baba Yaga, but actually as a servant, right? That was my assumption. And then I got to the end of the book, and there's literally a page that just says Castor Leshy. Which, it's a Leshen. So, Slavic mythology. Anyways, love Leshens. One of my favorite characters in, Slavic mythology. Stunning. But the assassin does look like a Serenity knockoff in a slightly different art style, at least to me.
I'd have to take a look. I really would. I wouldn't. I don't remember that art off the top of my head, and I don't know if it's ever it's never confirmed to be Serenity.
No. We don't actually learn who Assassin is, but it looks like it. My FGO alarm was about to ring. Come on. Load. Also, we meet Bragi. Bragi is great.
While you're pulling that up, I'll say something I found interesting at this series. This series is the lowest stakes Holy Grail War we've ever seen in Fate.
That is true.
Where the characters are literally told, you are not leaving your rooms during this Holy Grail War to be killed off. You're not allowed to kill the masters. You are remotely monitoring these servants while they fight.
I kind of love it.
It's gamifying it more, turning it into more of a tournament arc. I know that's not going to last by the end of the series if this ever ends.
But I like it. Yeah.
It's interesting. It's a different setting. I always enjoy when they come up with newer settings for these Grail Wars. It's definitely Hassan, I could say that.
Well, yeah, but you see what I mean? It looks like Serenity, but with a different hairdo and outfit, which probably means it's a different Hassan that we just haven't met yet.
Yeah.
But my first thought seeing it was, oh, it's Serenity, but she looks better.
I don't know. I'm definitely on the. It's probably a new Hassan, but if I were to tie it to an older Hassan, I think the hair looks a lot more like one of the female 100 Personas Hassans. Like the primary female one, but that's again. I don't think it's that one either.
So in the last 2 pages, it has this. There's a description of Leshy. It literally says here, summoned as a caster spirit, it was given a makeshift saint graft composed of these things. So yes, Leshy is caster.
So that's where I have to triple check a lot of that. The Baba Yaga looking one, are they the same character? Because there can be more than one caster in this Grail War. I can't remember if there's 2 casters that show up in this.
They look similar.
If they look similar, you're probably right. I don't remember for sure.
I could be wrong. They look similar. The only reason why I thought it was Baba Yaga over Leshy is because this art kind of looks like they're riding around on a mortar and pestle, which is traditionally what Baba Yaga does. But honestly, I mean, Slavic mythology, then you're just mixing and matching, and I wouldn't even be mad. You know what I mean? Anyways, whatever. If that's not who Castor is, it's not who Castor is. That's just what I think it is based on what they've told us.
We don't know now. We'll find out eventually.
Yeah. So and then we still have yet to meet. So we've met Archer, Berserker, Rider, Lancer, technically Assassin and Caster. We're missing 2 more.
Yeah, they've only given us 3 pairs of the 4 people.
So we're missing a pair of people. We do learn all the masters' names though during the little tournament bit. So we know who the master is. Also, the Iset brother, long-haired and psychopathic as a look. But yeah, no, this I liked actually in Lost Einherjar. I actually liked the incorporation of explanations about this. What do they call it? Double beast Grail War or something, double something Grail War, because that's not something I have heard about before, and so they are actually explaining something that I need explained to me.
It's a custom rule set here, but so you didn't know this because this is not something that would be on your radar at all. There's a few times where they drop references and they talk about the main character, her relationship with a family called the Yigda Millennia family.
Yeah, I remember. And they mention 2 people, one of whom I know by name.
And they
Calls and
Fiora.
Yeah. No.
Not Fiora. Fiora, no. It starts with an F.
Does it? I thought it was the fat dude that you liked.
Oh, Gordes.
Yeah,
it's
Gordolf.
Gordolf I like.
Yeah.
I think they reference Gordes, though. His
Gordolf
father.
is mentioned in here,
did they
I
mention
think.
Gordolf?
Yeah.
Neat.
Because I recognized Coles and Gordolf.
They reference that a lot of these characters were involved in a previous Holy Grail War.
Yes.
That Holy Grail War is from another novel series, and this is technically a follow-up sequel to it. But it's not... It's like in the same world, it's not apparent that there's going to be a large connection between the two story-wise at the moment.
Fair.
Because it's a different author.
Fair, but this is also technically a different type of Grail War because you've got 4 masters and 8 servants, so each master gets a team of servants, and they say that they've done similar things like 3 times before, and that Percival has won all 3 of them. Which, I mean, batting average, 3 out of 3, my dude.
So I don't know if they've done the team thing, but they've done the sub-series, which are just... In that world, that's because the Fuyuki Grail War was stolen.
Yeah.
And people recreate it like these smaller scale ones, and Percival
the
won
Nazis
3 of
took
those. Yeah.
Yeah, the Nazis took it.
It's always the Nazis.
It's always the Nazis.
Fucking Nazis.
Fucking Amber Room. Anyways, but yeah, so, and this time, no, you're right. Before, it hasn't been the doubled up team spirit, but this time it is. And so our main character, I forget her name, it starts with an L, but she is a Yig de Malena, but like distantly, she's descended from that family, right? They talk about that Lariat. It starts with an L. I'm right.
So she's not descended, but the Enigma Millennia family is like a bunch of people that got together, like, our families suck and are disrespected by the Mages Association. We're all going to join together and create a political family.
Yeah, and she was a part of that.
Yeah, right? Just not directly involved in the last war.
Her name starts with an L. I forget it. She's got Ragnar, Lothbrok, and Aslaug as servants. Aslaug is the daughter of Brunhilde and Sigurd, nominally Odin, and then Ragnar Lothbrok is one of the most famous Viking kings of all history. I'm not going to go into that here, but that, you know, for a Grail War set in Scandinavia, like, arguably this is where these 2 servants are the strongest. This is where their fame is the most known.
The home turf advantage, baby.
Literally the home turf advantage. And you'd think that would be great, except then you know, Percival's partner is also from the Volsunga saga. Like, literally one of his skill abilities is of the Volsungas.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that at least one of our 2 mystery servants still is also going to be from the, like, even if not the Volsung saga, from Norse mythology in general.
Well, I mean, even Leshy is like, that's into Slavic and kind of up towards the north areas, so like I wouldn't be surprised. There's also a troll shows up, like literal troll. And Skald. There's a Skald. Bragi.
I'm sure you really enjoyed the retelling of old, like, when they went back to the old Norse time period.
Yeah, I really liked Lost Einherjar, and I know it's the same author as Prototype, and I don't know what they've been doing in the intervening time, but whatever it is, keep it up, because your writing has improved by leaps and bounds. Rather than this being some sort of weird-ass screenplay bullshit that jumps all around, it feels like I'm actually watching a trial-based romance set to the framing story of the Grail War, right? Because it feels like I'm watching, or that I'm reading, the romance of Aslaug and Ragnar set to the framing of everything that's going on around them. And I like that. I think it's great.
I think right now I'm mostly in interested mode. Obviously, we don't have that much to go off of yet with only 1 volume. But, like, I'm firmly like, this is a neat concept. I need to see what they do more with this.
Also, what a cool fucking way to bring in the writer for this one, literally on the Viking boat of dead, right? And then the way that they, at the end, outmaneuvered Percival, stunning. Very few people, I think, are capable of coming up with a strategy to subvert the Lance of Longinus. On that note, I feel like we should really go through some of my notes. There aren't as many as Prototype, just 1 volume, much shorter. So I'm listening to 220 Volt as is our first character. Nice. Fucking iPod Nano. Why is every goddamn character unfairly attractive? Food and naps. She is my spirit animal. He's listening to metal and he has an axe. That's it. Baba Yaga looking ass with a warrior version of Serenity. Okay, but it is metal as fuck that Ragnar is physically holding the lance inside of himself via just his muscles grasping onto the metal of it inside of his stomach. This is some lovers fanfiction shit I read. Reminds me of the Once Upon a Summer's Eve series. So there's a very specific fantasy series. The first book is, I think, called Once Upon a Summer's Eve. Then there's Once Upon a Winter's Day, Once Upon a Spring Night, and Once Upon like an Autumn Eve, and then Once Upon a Dreadful Time. So this book reminds me a lot of that series, and that series is really good. So I would highly recommend it if anyone is interested. Then I just wrote Leshy. I love Leshies, and a pupper is a pupper is a pupper.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I do like the setting in kind of like modern. I will say this was maybe the most fun like opening that I've had in a book that we've read in a while, with just the kid being like, "Are you a Viking?" He'd be like, "I am a Viking," and then he's got that Litten Viking book and stuff, and he's like, "Let me just plug my iPod Nano in, put in some." By the way, when I looked up these songs to play them, the 3 songs. That shit came out. The YouTube videos that came up were collectively over 10 years old and still in square format recording. And in like 480p max. So, like this was a vibe, you could say. Like just immediately a vibe.
Yeah. I don't know that I have that. Like, obviously, we this is not going on as long as, because we had a lot more to say on Prototype with 5 volumes here. We've got the 1 volume. If they can't publish fast,
but it really does feel like we've gotten a better story in 1 volume here than we got in 5 volumes of Prototype.
Oh yeah, like right now I'm getting the sense this is a good this is a good sports story.
Also, did you get a little bit of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint vibes when they started donating money in the arena thing?
Oh no, I didn't remember that clearly.
Okay, so I did, because when I was reading it, they were like, "Oh yeah, Black Raven," and then it was like whatever they said in chat, and they were like, "Donate 5 gold" or whatever, and gold is equivalent to however many million euro or whatever. I got major Orv vibes because there were 4 names came up, and they were all aliases, and they were talking about stuff. Major Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint vibes there. Major Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint vibes.
Yep. I think I was the one that said this earlier, but I accidentally said that our female master character is the main character. No, that she's not actually, and the author makes that very clear that she's not the main character, at least yet.
No.
That the main character right now are Ragnar and are
Aslaug. Yeah.
This is very much a sports romance story.
Oh yeah, this is a tournament romance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
Which is because we don't really get a lot of Fate stories that are just about the servants. Usually it's about the master and their relationship with the servant. We haven't really touched on the master much yet. We're really focusing on the servant here first and framing the story around them.
I do like so far that our main master is being kind of set up as like a middle class scrappy little shit, you know, as opposed to like these other masters of these long lineages. Like the twins are from like basically Spanish royalty in the magical world. Also, there's a very concerning dynamic going on between that brother and sister. Very concerning. There were hearts in her eyes at one point looking at him. And then one of the other masters is literally a woman who already won the Grail War with Percival. Like, this is just literally outright stated that one of the other masters, who we haven't seen yet, has already won one of these Grail Wars with Percival. You know? So, like, we're very much, it's very much like an up-and-coming, like, scrappy little, you know, kind of nobody almost.
Yeah, it's an interesting start for the master compared to the other people, I think.
Yeah. It feels very El Malloy, but in like a intentional and good way, not a spastic idiot way.
Look, I like my spastic idiot protagonists as well.
I like my spastic idiot Elmaloy. I'm just saying this is a different type of scrappy up and coming. You know?
It's been a minute, but wasn't the main character a broke college student, more or less?
Yes.
Is that why you like her?
Yes. Also, they got waffles.
They got waffles.
They got waffles! And, like, a shit ton of meat for Ragnar. And the fact that she spent all of her money on waffles. I love this girl. It's great. Also, when the minute when she realized that they were donating gold, she was like, these capitalistic bastards. And then she literally admitted, maybe I would feel better about this if they were donating to me, but they're not. I was like, I can appreciate someone who's that self-serving. You know what I mean? I love it. So yeah. Anyways, that's my thoughts on Lost Einherjar. I want more.
We'll see if they ever come. I'm still waiting on Requiem Volume 3, to be honest. So like you have to wait like 1 year behind me.
No, do Einherjar first. Requiem can wait. Requiem's already been waiting that long. Einherjar's newer.
Fuck off.
More people like it.
At least I don't know if that's true. Einherjar's pretty underrated right now. It literally doesn't have that much talk. Like Requiem, at least Requiem right now, they get a lot of talk. Like, man, that author really disappeared off the face of the fucking earth, didn't he? At least we know what what Lost Einherjar's author is up to. Lost Einherjar's author just released a fucking video game.
Respectfully, I need more Lost Einherjar. I don't care. Your book, your outro.
I don't know how to do an outro. What the fuck are you looking at me for? I don't know.
If only I had the stack of books that you still have left to read so I could thump them down.
I can't thump down digital books, so I can't like wave in your face that we have the next arc of Elmaloy is looking like it's going to wrap up within the next lifetime, and Strange Fake we might try to read more of Strange Fake at some point in the near future.
I mean all the other shit you still have to read.
Yeah, I know. I'm ignoring the fact that I have like an entire ass arc of One Piece to read, an entire ass arc of one of the probably the largest arc of Pokemon to read, and also multiple Batfam and Omniscience Reader Viewpoint. Those are 2 volumes of Batfam's 3, I think.
I think I give you 4.
Did you give me 4?
Yeah, but they're small volumes.
Either way, that's fucking nothing compared to One Piece and Pokemon that's currently staring me down.
Hey, I'm just saying. Anyways.
And on the topic of like large scale projects that I've been dragging my feet on, I still need to read Fate Stay Night's visual novel, and there's too much reading.
This doesn't sound like a me problem, so I don't know how I can help you. Like, comment, and subscribe to Force Nick That to keep doing stuff that isn't Fate Stay Night's original visual novel.